Hello and welcome to This Old Geek. I'm Mike Esker. Now, I get a lot of questions from my subscribers regarding the paper mache puppet heads that I make. And usually it's about what type of clay did I use for the initial sculpt before I wrap it in aluminum foil and apply the paper mache. Well, I just use your typical modeling clay. This is a white variety. In my earlier videos, I use a gray kind, which I had for a long time. I had to get something new. This particular brand is Sargent Art. I think I got this at Walmart. Plastilina. They call it plasticine clay, which is pretty much an oil-based clay, I do believe. And it doesn't dry in the air. It stays soft. Well, you still have to knead it a little bit and work with it. It gets softer as you work with it. But that's pretty much all I use. So in this video, I am going to take this and do a video completely from the very beginning. I'm going to do a sculpt out of the modeling clay and go through the whole process of making one of my paper mache puppet heads. So enjoy. I start by building up my sculpture with the modeling clay. I'm not concerned about details, just the basic shapes. When I am satisfied with my clay sculpt, I then proceed to apply the aluminum foil pieces at a time until I get the sculpt completely covered. I tape any loose foil. Now it's time to apply the paper mache. About 3 or 4 layers will be sufficient. After letting it dry completely for a couple of days, it's time to cut it open, and then I separate the halves, pulling out any foil or tape that may be in there. Using acrylic gesso, I then paint the inside of each half of the head. I then glue the halves together and bind them with rubber bands and let the glue dry. After the glue dries, I then paper mache around the seam of the head. I cut a piece of PVC pipe to the length that I need. I cut the hole out a little bigger so it fits. The PVC pipe has about a 1-inch diameter hole. Then I glue it all the way to the top of the head. Then I wrap it in tape, and then I paper mache all the way around. Now it's time to sculpt using the paper clay. I cover the entire head with the paper clay, and then I put in the details. Now I always have a little bowl of water next to me so I can dab my fingers into it and have them wet, because you want to have your fingers wet and have the clay a little bit wet when you're applying it and smoothing it out. Also, when you're reapplying the clay to dry clay, you want to wet the dry surface first before you put on the new clay. When the clay is completely dry, I then use drywall compound to fill in any imperfections, make it nice and smooth. After the drywall dries, I then wipe it all down with a damp cloth to smooth it out. And then I paint the entire head with a couple coats of gesso, acrylic gesso, which is just a primer. And then I start my painting the entire head. I'll apply about 2 or 3 coats of the paint. And there you go. I got the head painted the way I wanted it to, and got the eyes and the mouth done. And I went ahead and I applied 2 coats of clear gloss polyurethane. Gives them a nice shiny look. I just brushed it on, of course. And there you go. There's my puppet head. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.